Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name's FM18, and you're watching the Dafuge Challenge, episode 91, with Enfield Town FC. Well, we're going to start at this window here, even though the transfer window itself is not closed. It's got another 2 days. We have made a couple of moves. Tom Frazier's gone out on loan to Carlisle. We've sold Timothy Jones to Birmingham for £14,750, and Simon Constable has also left. He went to Carlisle as well for £6,750, possibly going up to 8.5. They're essentially surplus to needs, but that's based on a couple of players that we've brought in. First up, Giuseppe Venturi from International for £200,000. Defensive center back, can also play central defender, a little bit of ball playing defender. 23 years old, good physicals, okay mentals. The determination is a little bit on the low side, but to be honest with you, it was a 4 when I picked him up. First thing I did was get him a tutor, and it's already gone up 2 points in about 2 weeks, apparently. I don't know. Something tells me it's FM being FM. I can't expect that sort of return every time. His heading's good. His marking's good. His tackling's good. 2.5-star current ability. 4.5-star potential ability. Got him for a song from International. He's kind of bounced around. He's been out on loan quite a bit. He had a couple of really good loan spells. Once at AC Prato, and then again at AC Prato. And for whatever reason, he was just never going to break into their first team. He requested a transfer. My scout in Italy found him. I took a look at him and took a flyer on him for £200,000. Why not? Next up, Stefan Defo from Coton Sport, which is in the Cameroonian League. 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, defensive right back, 20 years old. People may ask, how did you find this guy? Well, I didn't cheat. I used an exploit. As you can see, he has 3 under-20 appearances for the Cameroonian team and 8 appearances and a goal for the Cameroonian national team. Now, if you go to Preferences, and then under Preferences here, go to Interface, and then under Interface, go to Screen Flow. These are screens that pop up automatically when you assign them. I'm going to go down to an empty one here to show you. Essentially what you're doing is you're selecting a competition. They have it arranged by continent and world, and then I believe, depending on what leagues you have loaded in, it will also give you the competitions in those particular countries. So what you can do is, I have all the under-23 competitions set up and the youth competitions set up. As you can see here, the Asian under-19, the European 19, the U20, the Italian U20 Super Cup, things like that. Make sure you have visit news screens automatically, stats and player overview, on match days, stop game, no. And what happens is, when those competitions go off, a screen pops up, and it'll tell you the best players of that competition to that point, number of goals scored, number of tackles, things like that. The other thing it will tell you is the team they play for. Now, every once in a while, and Yari is a perfect example of this, you will see a player on a national team that is currently not on another team. As an example, when I found Yari a season ago, he was a free agent, but he had under 20 caps for the Finnish national team. Now, if you're good enough for a national team, that tells me something. And what I was able to do was, when players like Stefan Defo come up and they play for a smaller club, and you can tell they have some potential, frankly, you kind of make a low-ball offer for him. He's valued at £190,000. I offered Catan £100,000 for him. And I could tell just by looking at his stats, he is a very good right back. 3 goals, 5 assists, and a player of the match last year, a 7.33 rating. You look at Coton Sport, they're in the Cameroonian First Division. They got Their value is $2.13 million. I don't believe I can look at their finances. That'll pull up my finances. £100,000 to them is a decent chunk of money. And I get a really good player out of it. He's got really good physicals. His balance and jumping reach are a little on the low side, but I think those will improve as he gets older. His mentals are average to good. The concentration and determination, the positioning and teamwork that are critical for his skill set, they could be better, but they'll improve. I like his 16 decision making. His technicals, they're pretty average, but they're on the high side of average, if that makes sense. 9 marking, 10 tackling, 9 crossing, 8 dribbling, 9 first touch. Then again, he's 20 years old. I plan on loaning him out next year. And then it's possible he and Keeley are going to be fighting it out for who gets the defensive right back position. The other thing I like is that he's also a serviceable center back and a serviceable defensive left back. So even if he doesn't displace Keeley as my defensive right back of the future, he's got a future on this team as a super sub on the defensive line. Next in, Lewis Page on a free. Brought him in purely as backup. Once Constable left, I needed, frankly, someone who could come in and fill in for a few games and was also a decent tutor. Lewis Page fit the bill. His salary demands weren't all that high. 31 years old, decent physicals, good mentals where they count, good technicals where they count. I do like this get forward whenever possible on my defensive left and defensive right backs. It gets them a little bit further up the field, gets them participating in the crossing game more. Got him on a free, comes in, is immediately valued £875,000. Even if he doesn't stay here for his full contract, which I think he will, if he moves on, I'll get some money out of him in return. And then Elliot Broadhurst. 2.5-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, 22 years old. He is literally here as depth. Good physicals, good mentals where they count. I do like the 15 determination. The 13 positioning is also nice. The 15 heading, 13 marking, and 11 tackling are pretty good for his position. The rest of his technicals are pretty horrible. I'm not going to be able to improve on those, but he's here as a backup player. He's happy to be a backup player. He's not on a huge salary. And frankly, push comes to shove, I find someone to replace him with, I can move him and make a little bit of money on him. He's kind of bounced around, started out in the Watford system, went to Wealdstone on a loan and was okay. Was at Swansea for a year, part of a year. Then they loaned him out to Cambridge United where he really didn't do much. Swansea ended up releasing him. To me, he's a low-risk, good-reward player. We did have an offer for Phil Colwell. Let's see if I can pull that up here. Nope. For $1.3 million, which I did accept with the intention of moving Keeley into the full-time starter role. Colwell turned down the contract offer, decided he wanted to stay here. This player is someone who's going to be joining us in March, Ahmed Al-Johani, and he is another one of those players that I found through the competitions. 2 appearances for the Saudi national team. 1-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. 17 years old, striker, plays defensive forward already. His physicals are already pretty good, with the exception of strength and jumping reach and balance, but he's a striker. The thing I love is 18 determination, 10 aggression, 9 bravery. The positioning is going to need some help. I've got him training on that. Well, I will have him training on that when he joins. The teamwork and work rate could also use some help. His technicals are okay. 11 corners, 13 free kick taking, 11 technique, 9 long shots, 8 passing, 8 dribbling, 8 first touch. But you know what? He's 17 years old. I had players like this in the Vanarama that were tearing the league up. I mean, if I compare him to... I'm going to compare him to Barry Cousins, who's out on loan, who isn't coming back to the team. Barry Cousins is 25 years old. He's the blue. Johanny is in the green. He's 8 years younger. You know, you can't tell me that in 8 years, Johanny is not going to be exponentially better in almost every area than Cousins is right now. The other thing I like about Al Johanny is that he can play attacking center mid, which makes him a decent backup for Wilson. He's going to come in. He'll spend the rest of the season here because I doubt I'll be able to loan him out in March. Next season, he goes out on loan. Probably to Woking, just so I know he gets some starting time. He'll be out on loan at least until he's 19, probably. And then I will get him back here, and we will start getting him some full-on playing time. Well, after losing to West Ham, we were away at Barnsley, and we won that game 2-0. Rivero, a 21st minute goal. Durante, a 57th minute goal. Barnsley was just inept. That's the only word for it. 5 shots, none on target, 3 off target. We had a huge possession advantage. They just couldn't get anything done. Almost all their shots were from distance. We had 17 shots, 7 on target, 4 clear-cut chances. Everybody had a really solid game except Kramer, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. He's fallen off a little bit. I'm wondering if he's not a little tired. I'm debating playing the 4-3-1-2 and pulling him off, resting him for a little bit. Maybe that'll help. But we'll see. But this was a solid win for us. After Barnsley, we were home against Fulham. And this was a pretty good game that we won 2-1. Rivero had a first-minute goal, right off the kickoff. And then Durante had a 47th minute goal right before the halftime. Reece Bell got Fulham on the board in the 9th minute, but after that, they just could not get anything done. We had 22 shots, 9 on target. We only had 1 clear-cut chance, though. But again, the huge possession advantage. Essentially, we played keep away from Fulham, and once they realized that they weren't going to get the ball back, they pressed as hard as they could, and they ended up breaking themselves on our defense. Healy didn't have the best game. He went out in the 60th minute. O'Donnell came in to replace him. Collins got hurt. Sprained ankle ligaments. He is out for about a week. Nothing too serious. And frankly, he could use the rest. A solid game by everybody. Fulham's a decent team in terms of the quality of player they have. For whatever reason this season, they have just not put it together. And they're actually 23rd in the league, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, they're currently 23rd in the league. Although there's a possibility they could climb out of the relegation zone. Just for whatever reason, they just haven't been able to put it together this season. So today, we are playing our FA Cup 4th round game away at Norwich, and then we are going to be away at Crystal Palace. So I'm going to set my best 11 for the Norwich game, and we will come back with that in just a bit. Well, today we are away at Norwich, and they are playing a 4-4-2 with Gunn in goal, Burns, Rawson, Jones, and Downey as the defensive back 4, Ojo, Mewett, Smith, and Briggs as the midfield 4, O'Leary and Madison up top as the strikers. We are playing our 4-3-3 with Ward in goal, Gardner, Venturi, Durante, and Colwell as the defensive back 4, Wilson, Lentil, and O'Hare as the midfield 3, Kramer, Stankovic, and Rivero up top as the strikers. Well, Norwich beat us the last time we played them, so a measure of revenge would be nice. O'Hare picked up a yellow card already. Good grief. And so did Colwell. Guys, we're not even 10 minutes into the game. Come on. Gunn with the goal kick. Lentil to O'Hare. Wilson, long pass into space for Kremer. Crosses it in. Stankovic is there. Well done. Every time I think I need to rest Kremer or give him a game off, he goes and does something like that. Oh, hey, look, it's raining yet again. I don't know why I'm surprised. I think one of these days in the future, knock on wood, should we make it to the big leagues, our stadium should have a roof. I will say, we do appear to be more match fit than Norwich. Briggs with the corner kick in for Norwich. Madison's there off the post. And then Karam's off a Norwich player and out. Colwell has the goal kick. O'Hare to Wilson. Up to Stankovic all alone. And was he fouled? No, looks like Gunn got the ball. He kicks it towards the crowd. Went right over O'Leary. What the heck? Oh, went right over Durante. Nice recovery there. Gardner up to Wilson. To O'Hare. Oh, nuts. O'Leary behind the defense. Totally rounds Ward. Guys. Oh, Rivera just wasn't looking. Ward could have done a better job there. Durante heads the ball, but it goes right to Mewett. Madison breaks through the defense. O'Leary's there, and kicked it high. Dodged one there. Corner kick. Knocked out by Lentil. Stankovic's there. Up to Rivero, alone on the right. Long cross to Kramer. He crosses it. Rivero's there. Oh, nice. Well, okay, Kramer didn't cross it. He kicked it. It caromed off Gunn right to Rivero. Let's see this in the 3D. I'm going to count that as an assist, though. Rivero, long pass to Kramer. Both defenders come over to cover him. He takes the shot. Gunn pushes it right to Rivero. But they gave Kramer the assist. 30 minutes in. Now Briggs with the corner kick for Norwich. Colwell knocks it away. Should be a throw-in. Burns for Norwich. To Ojo. Knocked away. Smith at the top of the box. To Briggs. He tries kicking it, but he bounces it off an Enfield player. Wilson clears it up the field. Kramer's there. He kicks it long. Rivero breaks through all alone, and he scores again. That was nice. That was a good clearance by Wilson. In the past, players would have overrun the ball, and the Norwich player would have crossed it for a score. But, oh, that was lovely. Nice long pass by Wilson. Nice long pass by Kramer. Oh, Wilson just got injured. Problem is, I don't know that I don't have another midfield player. We're going to switch to the 4-4-2. Rivero is an okay attacking mid. Kramer and Stankovic are going to stay up top as the strikers, so Rivero is going to fall back. Barry is going to come on as the defensive midfielder because he plays a pretty good ball-winning midfielder there. Lentil's going to stay on the midline. Oh, Rivero just got injured. What the heck happened there? He just got back from a broken nose. Damaged heel. Okay, we'll pull him off the half. Macca's going to come on for Rivero. Kramer can also play attacking midfielder. He's my third option there, actually. So we should be okay there, but get another injury on the midline. I am up a creek. Moving left to right now. Ojo to Burns. Back to Ojo. And the highlight ends. We are definitely more match fit than they are. 5 shots, 4 on target for us. Slight possession advantage. They've had 7 shots, only 1 on target. We've had more clear-cut chances than them by 2. Briggs with the free kick from outside the box to Rawson at the top. Off the crossbar. Ward had it and then he lost it. Okay. The play ends. Must have been a penalty. I didn't see the notes at the bottom. They made 3 substitutions all at once. Oh, Lentil picked up yellow. Defoe's going to come on for Colwell. We're going to switch things up here a little bit. We're going to bring McNally on for Lentil, who's on like 5. Can't make any more substitutions. Why? Wilson went out. Rivero went out. Defoe came on for Colwell. Okay. Okay, well, tactics-wise, I'm going to drop back to the counter. Slow things down, take a breather, retain possession, be more disciplined. I'm going to take off with the ball in the box, too. We've got a 2-goal lead in 23 minutes. Another yellow card. Good grief. Close down less. 10 minutes left in the game. Kramer picked up a good grief. Okay, what was the over-under on yellow cards for this match? If you had more than 7, you win. 3 minutes of extra time left. Coming up. Should be the last play of the game here. Downey. And that is it. How much longer is Wilson going to be out for? This was a really good game for us. 10 shots, 4 on target, good possession advantage, 4 clear-cut chances. Rivera with a brace, but he hurt his heel. 10 days and 3 weeks. You know what? 4 weeks for Nigel Wilson. Okay. Almost £100,000 in prize money. That's always nice. Kramer, 3 assists last game. Definitely man of the match worthy. Well, I've got 2 days of scouting left to catch up on where I am. It's been a day or two since I logged on to this. So, we will be back with the Palace game in just a bit. Well, a couple of notes before we get to the 5th round draw. Ipswich Town made Wayne Ward an offer, and I turned it down because he's topped out. He's 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, but he's been a fabulous keeper for us the past 4 seasons, including this season. I mean, ignore that 110 goals. It was our first year in the championship. And to be honest with you, going back and looking at some of those games, I'm surprised it wasn't more. And despite all that, he still had a 6.88. You can tell we're doing better as a team this year because we've only allowed 53 goals. Picked him up on a free. He came in our last season in League 2, our only season in League 1. He was one of the reasons we were able to get promoted in our only season in League 1. And frankly, they lowballed me. They offered me £475,000, going up to, I want to say, $650, and a 20% profit from the next sale for a 26-year-old 3-star current keeper. I didn't think I was ever going to see any of that money. And frankly, I'm more interested in keeping him than I am selling him. Transfer-wise, the last couple of players we were looking at bringing in are officially here. First up, Gustavo Diaz. A midfielder on loan from Leicester, 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 22 years old. Colombian international player, 27 U20 appearances with 7 goals, 5 caps for the Colombian national team. Plays a really good deep line playmaker, more than capable Mazzala, central midfielder, roaming playmaker Carolero. Leicester had him on loan. His mentals are also really good. His technicals are really good where they count. I do like the 15 first touch and the 12 passing. 13 technique is also nice. His marking and tackling are average, but for the position, they're really good. His work rate's nice. His positioning is okay. It could use a little help. But teamwork, decision-making, determination, anticipation are all pretty good. He spent 5 seasons with Millonarios in Colombia and then went to Leicester on a free, and he just sat there. They put him out on loan, and no one took him. I wonder. And depending on how well he does, because he will get playing time, we'll try and see if we can extend his loan into next year as well. Last player in was Derek O'Connell from Sheffield United. We paid £63,000 for him. 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, midfielder, 23 years old. Plays a good central midfielder, decent Mazzala, ball-winning midfielder, deep line playmaker as well. Good physicals, nice mentals. I do like that 17 determination. The concentration can use a little help, but he's got good teamwork, good vision. His technicals are also pretty good where they matter. Nice first touch. He's good on corners, good passing as well, decent tackling. His marking could be a little bit better. We can work on that. He's a backup player, but he will get playing time. Well, let's go to the draw. 19 teams, 8 matches. Wolves at Liverpool or Brighton. Are we going to play Man City? Oh, we're playing Man City. Okay. The good news is we're playing at Man City, I believe. Well, we're playing at Man City, so that's good. The gate will be nice. They're only first in the Premier League. Fascinating and hard-fought tie. I don't know who's writing this. Patrick Rowe. He's definitely an optimist. Kevin De Bruyne is still on the team. Jesus Vallejo. I don't recognize that name. Central midfielder. Central defender. 51 million. Yeah. Okay, this could be tough. Well, we're not going to roll over and die for him, that's for sure. Still doesn't mean we're not going to get thumped like 6-0. Well, today we are playing Crystal Palace, who are on a losing streak. They haven't won their last 6 games. They're currently in 6th place. We are in 7th place, 2 points behind them. A win could put us into the playoff promotion race, which is amazing, to be honest with you. A bit scary, if I'm being really honest. Completely unexpected. So we're going to get this underway in just a sec. Today we are away at Crystal Palace, and they are playing a 4-2-3-1. Solatovic in goal, Nelson, Ramsden, Smith, and Britton as the defensive back four, Szymanski and Kostel as the midfielders, Woodburn, Lo Celso, and Byrne up top as the midfielders, and Hassel as the lone striker. We are playing our 4-3-3 with Ward in goal, Gardner, Venturi, Durante, and Colwell as the defensive back four, Diaz, Lentil, and O'Hare as the midfield three, Kramer, Mackin, and Stankovic up top as the strikers. Hopefully this isn't the game that Crystal Palace gets themselves right. Colwell with the throw in, to Lentil, to Diaz, back to Venturi, passes to Kremer who loses the ball. Kostel sends it to Byrne, up to Britton, crosses it into Hassel. Can't tell if Ward pushed that over the bar or if it went over the bar by itself, but you know, when I sat down and planned this save out ahead of time, I thought for certain we would be spending a minimum of 3 years in every league. O'Hare with the ball to Diaz, to Mackin, up to Nelson, O'Hare to Lentil. Oh, and he pushes the ball just right. Anyhow, now Szymanski with the free kick from outside the box. Knocked away, but Woodburn has it. Back out to Szymanski. Crosses it in, but Gardner knocks it away. Szymanski and Kramer fight for the ball, but Szymanski wins. Woodburn to Lo Celso. Back out to Byrne on the right. Gardner kicks it away to Kramer. Taps it up to Mackin. To Stankovic. Crosses it to Mackin. And he scores. Well done. He hasn't started a lot of games, and he's come on as a reserve more than a few times. And he's always had 1 or 2 good shots a game. He's fulfilling the role I brought him in for. Anyhow, back to my other story. The fact that we've been promoted as fast as we have through some of these divisions has just been amazing. I would have thought for sure we would have spent more time in League One at least. But I'm not complaining. I'm really not. Man, if we get promoted to the Premier League, this year, we're coming right back down. There's just no two ways about it. Gardner to Diaz. Back out to Gardner to Kramer. To Diaz to O'Hare. Up to Mackin, who taps up to Stankovic, but he skies his shot. Coming up on halftime, we've been better technically than Palace. 5 shots, 3 on target, 3 clear-cut chances, a slight possession advantage. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target. And we're currently in 6th place. Wow. Diaz to Mackin, to Kramer. Up to Mackin again, who taps it to Stankovic, but his shot goes left. I can't believe I blanked on his name. Okay. Colwell with the throw-in to O'Hare. Back to Colwell. Well, he sends it in, but it goes right to Nelson. The Palace kicks the ball out. Venturi sends it to Colwell. Up to O'Hare. To Diaz. To Lentil. Back to Venturi. All the way over to Kroll on the right. Passes into space. Can Stankovic get there? He can, but Ramsden dispossesses him. Woodburn with the ball. Long pass up to Hassel, who got behind the defender. Gardner was too far forward. Byrne being challenged. Crosses into Hassel, and he scores. Let's see what happened here. Oh, look. It's raining again. Oh, looks like Ward got a hand on it, but couldn't stop it. Gardner with the throw-in. Diaz back to Gardner. Crosses it. Colwell at the top of the right box. Cole at the top right of the box. Get rid of it. Oh, Woodburn dispossesses him. Passes it up into space, but Hassel's not going to get there before Durante runs it down. He sends it back to Ward, who tips it up to Venturi. Kramer loses the ball to Szymanski. Byrne passes it to Costa. Palace is on the attack now. Byrne on the right. Crosses it in. Hassel's there. What is going on, guys? My backs are too far forward. Okay, let's take a look and see what we can do here. Kramer's having a horrible game, so you know what? Tom Ashton's going to come in. Venturi to Durante. To Colwell. Long pass, but Smith runs it down for Palace. O'Hare to Mackin. To Diaz. To Kramer. And his shot gets blocked by Selhurst. Corner kick in. Colwell runs down the rebound. Passes it kind of towards Diaz. Nelson overruns it, but he gets it to Szymanski, who taps up to Woodburn. Hassel has it now. Out to Britton on the right. Centers it to Costal, to Lo Celso, and Ward pushes it just wide left. Szymanski with the corner kick. Ramsden scores on the header. Guys, come on. What is up with that? You know what? Defoe's going to come in for Gardner. Keeley is going to come in for Colwell. 75 minutes. Need to get another one back, guys. Okay, let's go to the overload. They were on a losing streak, too. Like 5 straight losses. Woodburn with the ball. Buckley up to Hassel. Taps it to Szymanski. And his shot is off mark. 5 minutes left. Son of a gun. We're going to need a minor miracle to pull this one out. We're not going to get it. Free kick for Palace. And Szymanski sends it out of bounds. And that is the game. Crud. Well, we got one, but it wasn't enough. Palace, 13 shots, 6 on target. 2 clear-cut chances. We had 10 shots, 4 on target, 4 clear-cut chances. That was annoying. Tell the boys they did well and their efforts were excellent. Are you kidding me? I love my assistant manager, but sometimes his pep talk ideas are just horrible. Okay. Well, looks like Man City Wolves. And Wolves are second in the league. So, could be fun. Well, a slightly longer episode today. What with the end of the transfer window, the screen flow explanation, and then the Norwich game had quite a few highlights, which is good and bad. It's good if most of the highlights in your favor, which in this case they were. The Crystal Palace game, not so much. I really thought we should have done better against them, especially as they were on a 5-game losing streak. The fact that they scored off the set piece, it's just annoying more than anything else. But our win against Norwich sets us up against Manchester, which, you know, they're the number 1 team in the Premier League. They're one of the top teams in the world. I'd like to think we can give at least a good showing of ourselves before we get thumped. We're in a good place league-wise. I think mid-table is definitely achievable. We're on the cusp of the playoffs. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Anxious is probably the best word for it, seeing as how last time we happened to be in the playoffs. We did a reasonably good job. But we have to stay healthy. We have to keep putting in some good performances. Our defense has to step up. Otherwise, mid-table it is. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name is FM18, and I thank you for watching.